to the Talking Bread, for some reason we still talk about Monday's Talk. I'm your host, Hensel Yurtan.
And I am Zach Haywood.
So, Zach, do we actually have announcements today?
We actually have announcements. Actually have announcements.
What?
Alright, well, there's more to come to this on Monday, but there's going to be an announcement about 4th of July party that not hosted by the Davises, but the Davises are going to get a little more details in about a 4th of July gathering happening, but more announcements to come Monday.
Yep, more announcements to come.
Yeah.
And with that being said, Zach.
What?
Do we have to introduce the guest that is here tonight?
Well, yeah, that's the whole point of the podcast. We're supposed to announce the guests.
Fair enough. Y'all introducing the 3-time Masters champion. Y'all give it up for David Dougal.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate y'all giving me this time.
Thank you for
Very
being
welcome.
on. First question: are birds real?
Some are.
Which ones?
The ones without cameras in their eyes, probably.
Do pigeons have cameras in their eyes? Because I think pigeons are not real for some reason. Because I've never seen a baby pigeon before.
Yeah, I go to New York every 3 months to try to figure this out.
Yeah, you know what you should do? Aren't you going to New York?
Saturday. I leave Saturday. Yeah.
Can you please bring home a pigeon?
I mean, TSA might try to stop me, but I wonder if that's got a live or dead kind of thing.
We need to dissect the pigeon to see if there's a camera inside the pigeon.
You know, it'd be easier maybe if I bought like a messenger pigeon, sent it down here, and then y'all don't let it go back.
That's a good idea.
Oh,
and then I don't have to pay for TSA.
It's actually not a bad idea.
That's...
How long do you think the pigeon? How long do you think it'll take for the pigeon to get down here?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I mean, so the flight in an airplane is 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I would hope that maybe like 2 or 3 days.
2 or 3 days. I think a pigeon can fly that fast.
I feel like
it's gonna have to stop for like bathroom breaks, and it's gonna have to stop maybe at like a rest stop and get some food.
Are you telling me you've never seen a bird poop while in flight?
Dude.
Not the birds I've seen.
Only the real ones do.
Exactly. Exactly.
So,
this one's gonna stop at a porta potty on its way down like Virginia.
Bucky's in Brunswick.
Yeah, Bucky's in like Florence, South Carolina, or or Bucky's in like I don't know, maybe stop at a Wawa in North Carolina.
Yeah, or maybe a Sheetz.
Or a Sheetz, I don't know. Maybe a Chevron.
But
yeah.
Another icebreaker. If you could play at any golf course around the world, David, where would you play?
So I would. This is gonna be cheap, but I would go Augusta. Too much history. Too much. Because I'd gotten to golf more recently than some others. I know Augusta would be cool. A lot of history there, as well as not a place, but Japan.
Ooh.
Japan's golfing, the way they have it set up is that like you show up, they feed you breakfast, they send caddies with you, and you play the front 9, and then you go have lunch, and then you go back out and play the back 9, and it's like a whole day event. But they give you caddies, they give you chefs to cook. I've only seen it on Instagram or the internet, but that would be crazy.
That'd be sick. See, if I have a caddy, I want to make sure my caddy is like addicted to cigarettes, so I can just smell the cigarette smoke as he's like telling me, "Yeah, you got to read the green. You got about 20 feet to the right from the pin."
And so, honestly, if they're not smoking a cigarette, do they even know golf? You know,
it's true. Your caddy needs to be addicted to cigarettes.
Yeah.
If it's not a real caddy.
There's got to be a correlation.
Exactly. Like what? Happy Gilmore. What do you have? Like the little blonde kid was his caddy.
Yeah,
Was he addicted to cigarettes?
Not yet.
Oh, good point.
So after that, he probably did. He probably came into the full form.
Yeah, right? Mine would be Bethpage Black. Or Shinnecock this weekend.
Yeah?
U.S. Open, Shinnecock.
Yeah.
Somewhere in New York. Somewhere in, like, Long Island.
So I went and played a public course up in New York City last time I was up there on Staten. Fantastic. I loved it.
Did you take the ferry?
I did take the ferry, yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's like in Staten Island.
Ferry beer.
Yeah, ferry beer. I like that.
Yeah.
What about you, Hens?
I haven't played. I didn't play any golf. However, the last golf course I drove past by was actually Augusta National. Like during Easter time. And
Yeah.
all that.
I feel like you're a St. Andrews guy, right? Is that where the Open is? St. Andrews in Scotland?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe it's the name.
Yeah, I feel like you're a St. Andrews guy. You're a Lynx guy. You're a Lynx guy.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to be that guy, but.
Yeah. Or I don't know. I don't know what else you like.
So I didn't even know y'all played golf like that.
I do. I mean, my favorite golfer is Brooks Koepka.
I don't even know
No,
who that
it's
is.
Malfoy.
I hate Rory McIlroy. Sorry, I shouldn't be hated. I despise Rory McIlroy. I think he's just. I can't say the words that I want to say about Rory McIlroy. He's honestly my least favorite athlete of all time.
Really?
Yes,
Okay.
Rory McIlroy. I despise him. I don't think his last 2 Masters wins should not count.
Okay.
First of all, the first one he should have lost in the playoff to Justin Rose.
Yeah.
Second, this year he's 3 weeks. He was practicing there for 3 weeks. He would take his private jet all the way from Jupiter, Florida to Augusta and back in the same day.
Yeah.
And this guy cares about the environment. He doesn't give a crap about the environment. He's literally burning his missions or whatever he complains about. He's polluting the environment. Rory McIlroy does not care about the environment. He doesn't care about golf. He only cares about himself. Anyway, let's get on topic.
We're about to get on a real tangent here.
Yeah.
So
Anxiety is what I have right now thinking about Rory McIlroy.
yes, yes, Zach is anxious about talking about Roy McIlroy right now.
Yeah. Get into Hensley. Let's do it.
All right, yeah, let's get into it. All right, so in your talk, you've talked about a certain part in the book of Matthew, where it was Sermon of the Mount, and it was you can only serve one master part of it. So what made you choose that part in the Gospel of Matthew?
So, it's Southside Baptist, the church I go to. We've been going through Matthew. And in February, at that point, I'd already, I think I'd signed up to talk by that point, but I didn't really have a good idea what I wanted to talk about. And Pastor Michael at Southside talked about anxiety, and he read straight out of the Sermon on the Mount. And as soon as he got done with his talk, I was like, that's what I want to talk about. So I immediately took that, went to a few friends of mine that I trusted, and just bounced the idea of me talking about anxiety. And a lot of them were like, why? Because they know that I'm just not an anxious person. I don't really worry about things. And they felt like that could hinder the talk a little bit. But that was the whole reason I wanted to do the talk, was because of that. I can look at it at a logical perspective, because I don't get caught up in that anxiety. And a lot of times the anxiety is what fogs your thoughts during that time, and you just feel like you're caged in and you can't get out of it. So that really is what drove me to want to talk about it. And considering that this is probably the most anxious that generation's ever been, considering that we have bad news at the edge of our fingers every single day, nonstop. The media is always blowing our phones up about something else. The housing market's been the worst it's ever been. Pay's been the worst it's ever been. And a lot of just people our age are having a hard time seeing the future as being a positive thing. Because of all that anxiety and worry that's locking them down. So,
I like that. Yeah, because I was talking about the group last night, especially the news. Like whenever I hear the news, I want to hear man adopts a puppy, not man kills 3, wounds 4.
Yeah.
I want something positive. I like positive.
Or someone swam across the strait. Like I remember, I think there was a woman last year that swam from the UK, and she swam across the strait, which I forget the name of at the moment. But those little accomplishments, throw them in there. Let me see something good.
Yeah, and I think, and I will say, since y'all mentioned that, I've read a book called The 48 Laws of Power, and one of the ways, and according to the book, one of the ways to court attention at all costs is to use controversy to grab attention. So that's why you have a lot of news sources that are creating a lot more negative articles than you can than a lot of positive articles.
It's noise, and it's really tough for people to escape the noise because, like you said, it's at the edge of your fingers. Like you can go on your laptop, your tablet, your phone, TV. Even your refrigerator has. Some refrigerators have technology. Connect your Wi-Fi to your refrigerator which I know sounds bizarre right now if I said that like 20 years ago. But this is true. There's just noise that often distracts everyone from like the main purpose of life. And for me personally, like I delete a lot of social media apps because like I'm a pretty anxious person sometimes. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I get anxious about the most minor things in the world, even though I shouldn't. And I felt like, kind of just like getting rid of like Twitter, Snapchat, all that. Like the only actually I have two social media sites on my phone. It's Instagram and Pinterest. I love Pinterest. I don't care what anyone thinks. Pinterest is amazing. I can get cool recipes and art design and art ideas on Pinterest. And there's no news on there. I don't have like, Fox News or CNN come on my Pinterest.
Yeah.
I only have like, the Pioneer Woman or Barefoot Contessa recipes showing up on my Pinterest. I recommend downloading Pinterest. Do that over Twitter.
See, that's why I had to get rid of Twitter. Like I haven't hopped on the full get rid of all social media as a lot of my friends have. Twitter I had to get off of. It was an absolute emotional roller coaster. You'd hop on, you'd see a dog get saved, and the next slide is like someone getting shot. And it's like, what in the world am I doing?
Gosh.
Police body cam footage. People crashing into each other. It's crazy.
Hey,
So, your talk was mainly about Matthew 6:19 through 34. That's what you mainly focused on with your talk. So I want to talk about Matthew 6:19 through 21, which talks about storing treasures in heaven rather than on earth. And one of the things you brought up was tithing.
Yeah.
And I just want to ask your opinion on tithe and like why you think it's important. And if you're comfortable sharing, like have you seen God work through your obedience in that area?
I think so. So yes, tithing was something that I grew up knowing what was right. I just never did it, and so I had when we had a discussion about debt and money. I feel like about a month or so back, and that night I went home and paid off all my student loans. I had the money to do it. I went ahead and paid it off, and that was when I was like, okay, I want to start trying to set up tithing. And so at first I was against the online tithing, and I still kind of am. People that have tithing set up to like auto pay, I think is doing it wrong. They're missing the point of tithing. I think the point of tithing is to take that money that you feel like you've earned, knowing that God gave it to you in the first place, and giving it back to Him or His church to build the kingdom of God. And it's more of trusting Him with it, right? Me personally, have I seen any gains? No, but I can tell you this, I've been a lot less worried about my money. Knowing that every 2 weeks I'm going to be throwing in $150 to $200. And I do online tithe now, because it's easier for me as when I get paid on Thursday to just go ahead and do it right then and there before it makes it anywhere near my future plans. But it's a lot less worrisome. I kind of just give it up.
No, trust me, I was kind of the same way because I started tithing like 2-3 months ago, and I see a lot of blessings in my life. Like I know that my money is going somewhere useful, and I went to Compassion a couple weeks ago, and they did a whole series on money, just talking about how you shouldn't have to worry about money and just trust in God more. And then one of the sermons was on tithing, and tithing really talks about you trusting God, and showing that you trust God with your money and what He's going to do with it. And I feel like it's going to something good. And I love it, especially when churches are very transparent about where the money's going rather than just keeping it a secret.
I say Southside, we have a board family meeting, I think once a month, about our budget and where it's going. As a kid, I used to sit in for those, not having a clue on what they're talking about. Now that I'm an adult, I do enjoy going there and be like, okay, let's see what we're getting ourselves into. Because we have a few different funds in Southside. We have a Go Fund, which goes out to our missionaries. Shout out Blackburn's Deke's sister. I'm blanking at the moment. But she's out in the Philippines. She's one of our missionaries that grew up in our church, and so we fund her. As well as a few other plant churches. We help a Hispanic church down the street that actually used to rent one of our rooms at the church, and now they're getting their own building after 10 years, which is so cool to see.
That's awesome.
But yeah, just seeing those plants become something bigger, knowing that I had a part in that, it feels really good.
I bet it does, right, Hensley?
Right.
Yeah.
Now let me bounce an idea off of y'all, because this is something I used to tell myself, was that tithing's not necessarily all about money. It could be about time.
That's true.
For people that don't necessarily have all that money, but they have the time on their hands to go help cut the lawn or cut the trees, or after the storms, going and helping other church members and things like that. Do y'all see that as a possible way of tithing?
It is like I know the definition of tithing is 10% because tithe means 10, and like I mean I kind of consider it more like serving rather than tithing. Like I mean tithing is still considered serving. It kind of falls under the same umbrella in my opinion because you're serving your church by trusting God and putting your money that you're not going to die with towards something good. I don't know. That's something I gotta really think about because like I said, like definition of tithing is 10th. So I don't know. Like I mean, if you're not bringing in income, that 10% of your time can go towards serving other people. I kind of see it that way, but I don't know. It's something I really got to think about. Yeah. What about you, Hensley? What about you? No, Dave's question.
So
your question.
So I would agree that it's not just. I did believe that tithing is not just putting 10% of your income to the church, but it's also actually serving like physically serving to the church, like whether if it's like basically like storm cleanup or maybe something like have you heard of the forgot it was what is that?
What is what?
I know it's something purse.
Person?
Samaritan's Purse.
Samaritan's Purse.
Thank you, executive producer Zach Balls.
Yeah, it was Samaritan's or something like Samaritan's Purse, where they I think it was after Helene and all that. Samaritan's Purse came to Compassion Christian, and I think they've also helped out with some of the families that went that suffered from Hurricane Helene and all that.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That was a fun time, Helene.
Yes. Yeah, it was such a fun time.
Yeah.
What year was that?
2024. September 2024. Me and Hensley remember that time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was a long story.
Very long story.
It involves us getting lost in the middle of nowhere, Georgia.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and I had to help you.
Hear the banjos?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Some like random fields.
Banjos and washboards.
I thought we were getting kidnapped. It would have been fun getting kidnapped. Actually, no, I wouldn't have been getting kidnapped.
No, it would not.
Honestly, dude, I'm, and you can ask my friends, I'm all for a curveball in life. Just, doesn't have to be a bad one, but like something to switch it up.
Yeah.
Getting kidnapped, like I feel like they'd bring you back, Hensley.
They don't want Hensley.
They'll bring you back, dude. Trust me, they'll bring you back. Zach's got a pretty face. They might want to keep him.
Yeah,
what?
You're lucky. I'm gonna get kidnapped. You're not gonna get kidnapped.
Oh, okay. All right then.
You probably you have freakish strength for being someone who's fun sized. You have a lot of freakish strength. You could pick me up probably with one arm.
Probably if I could. But anyways, so I know that greed is a very big sin and all that. One of the 7 deadly sins. But so you can only serve one master. But how can we focus on God if our eyes cause us to sin?
So it kind of goes into the verse after right before you can't serve 2 masters. It talks about how your eyes are the lamps to your body, and when you're looking at light, it's hard to be full of darkness. If your eyes are upon darkness, then your body's going to be full of darkness. How great is that darkness?
Verse 22 and 23.
Yeah, and so essentially it's saying when your focus is on the greed, your focus is on what your wants are, you're going to be full of darkness. But as long as you can keep your focus on the Lord, His light will be shining through you the whole time. And it's going to be hard for that darkness to overcome you. But greed is such a human thing. Like we want this, we want that, we want this, we want that, because of the satisfaction of them. And if you're so busy caught up in what you want, you're gonna miss what God wants.
Right.
You took one of my questions.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, why do you think greed can change the way people see God in the world?
I can answer the question. I think greed. So when I first was coming up with this talk, I actually talked to Sam John, which I imagine y'all will have him on the podcast eventually.
We had him on
the second episode.
Yeah.
Actually.
So go check out the second episode on YouTube.
Is a Sam John's dope. Shout out Sam.
Shout out Sam John.
But I went to him and I was kind of asking people that I trusted, like, what do you think brings anxiety to them? And his answer was not knowing whether what God's going to give him is what he wants. In the sense of, like, greed it overcomes us so much that we see what we want and we get worried about whether God's going to give us those things. When in reality, God never promises to give us what we want. He only promises to give what we need. And so greed kind of fogs that description a little bit, and then we get upset with God when he doesn't give us what we want. And I think that's why greed is one of the 7 deadly sins, is because it just draws your attention so far from God. Because in reality, Satan's not here to win us over. He's just here to distract us long enough for us not to notice. And I think greed is one of his strongest points.
It is that and gluttony, because my Instagram reel is just full of mukbangs.
Yeah.
And people just eating crumble cookie and just, what is it, Raisin Canes.
Yeah.
That's all.
Low country boils are what mine's full of the mukbangs right now.
Country boil. I wish that was mine was. Now I got brand people eating it.
But
here's this week's crumble cookie. I said cookie crumble cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't care.
Yeah.
I don't care about my Instagram reels.
Yeah. Yeah, and then what is it? Like, and then like whenever you brought up, you sent a picture to like the group chat where of just Justin and I.
You guys were munching down on Five Guys yesterday. Okay, or I can't even say that right without sounding weird.
Munching down on Five Guys, Zach, is a crazy sentence.
Yes.
That is
But-
a crazy sentence.
This is why I can't say anything about Five Guys, because everything I say is going to sound super wrong.
I worked at Five Guys for a year. And the amount of times I got the joke of, I only see 4 of you guys, would piss me off so much that our manager started overstaffing just so people would stop saying that.
You know what? I don't blame him.
Or if we had one girl. If a girl was there, a joke was going to be made. It's like, oh, it's 5 guys and a girl now, huh? It's like, all right.
Get out of here.
Yeah,
Order
it's like, we
food
actually
and
don't
get
serve you.
Order your food and get out.
Yeah.
Here's $30 for a cheeseburger.
Oh, dude, it's ridiculous.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So,
Actually, little inside, get a patty melt. So go in there, you order a grilled cheese, add a patty.
Ooh.
And you come out for like, I think it's like $8 or $9.
Did you say $8 or $9?
Yeah, because the grilled cheese is only like $6 or $7. And the patties plus 2 is $2.
You hear that?
Yeah.
So, and it's good.
You're
I also like the hot dogs there. I'm a glizzy gobbler, so.
Yeah, I love a good glizzy every once in a while.
Dude, glizzy gobbler and proud.
Now with chili on there?
Oh, dude, a chili cheese dog. I'm a big Cincinnati Bengals fan, and they have the Skyline chili dogs.
Ooh. Dude, I've always wanted to have Skyline chili.
It's good. My ex-girlfriend used to make it. You know the secret? They had cocoa powder.
Cocoa powder? Yeah, because they put on top of spaghetti, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
They don't do marinara sauce on the spaghetti. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, executive producer Zach is frowning over there. Yeah. It's really good.
Yeah.
Skyline chili. Yeah.
I bet you the chili that we made the other day, put that on some spaghetti. You can put that on anything, though.
Executive producer Zach chiming in here. That's a crime. That's a crime against food and nature and all that is good with food and nature.
I mean, that's not the first crime I've done. So I'm pretty sure ketchup on mozzarella sticks is also considered.
Yeah,
a crime.
but we know about that one.
Dude, they have Skyline chili ice cream. You see that?
I haven't seen that.
They have Skyline chili ice cream. They
That
have chili
is-
flavored ice cream.
I don't know if that's
That
something I would
is
have.
like Geneva Convention level criminal.
And I think they put like oyster crackers at the bottom of it too. It's
That's
something
okay.
crazy like that. I don't know.
that is like Geneva Convention level criminal.
Deer. Oh, that's a nice little. That's a 6 point, huh?
Yeah, that's a nice deer.
You can mount that, baby.
Yeah, check.
Matt, go get the gun.
Hensley, you see that deer?
Yeah, I see the deer.
You want that deer?
Maybe.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Dandy. You're my deer. I just pet your head.
Oh my gosh. Alright, anyway. So, I like to ask, why doesn't it make sense to be a Christian and have anxiety and or depression?
Oh, this is a good one. So this point, I have been wrestling with this point that I made last night for a couple days. Because like my goal was not to come at it in an aggressive tone, but at the same time, say this thing that's going to hit y'all hard and then explain it. So when I first said I don't believe it makes any sense to be Christian and anxious, because we believe that God rose from the dead. We believe He saved us from damnation. We believe that He fed the 5,000. He rose Lazarus. He did all these crazy miracles, but then we're anxious about little things like missing something on a grocery list. We don't think God can handle those kind of things. So to me, like, yes, I work in the medical field. I get that anxiety hits you out of nowhere, and it's a spur of the moment kind of thing. But at the same time, it's not a choice to stay in it. And I think that's where God comes and plays His role. Is that whenever you're feeling that anxiety, when was the last time you got on your knees and prayed to Him about it? You know, like that. When was that your first step? Instead of going and finding your medication or calling a friend to calm you down or anything like that. We try to do human fixes before we try to do a spiritual fix. So to me, it doesn't make sense, because to me, anxiety is a lack of trust that God's in control. And if we believe that He did all those things, why can't we believe that He's in control of everything? And depression is another good point. Working in the medical field, I think that the medical field has taken over depression. I think that we have tried to, we're so caught up in medications being fixes for things when we skip the big part. One of the big things that I argue with, because I work at the hospital, so I talk to people all the time with depression, and they say, oh, like, I've been depressed for years. I'll go, okay, when was the last time you went to the gym? Like, when was the last time you did something to feel good about yourself? Well, I haven't been to the gym in 5 years. I'm like, okay, well, when was the last time you went to a doctor and they told you should take medication? I was there three months ago. And it's like, okay. And so, like, we're so focused on trying to use medications for fixes, when in reality, God gave us fixes, Him and ourselves. And so, when it comes to depression, to me, how can we be upset about where we're at and what the future is when we believe that God's in full control of our future? So, are you saying that you don't like what God has in store? Are you saying that what God has in store is not going to make you happy? It's hard for me to believe that those two things can coexist. And I know that is a hot take, and a lot of people, last night I even had conversations with a few other people that it was a hot take. It's a little bit controversial, but that's why I want to throw it out there, because I don't think it's unlogical.
It gets a lot of people thinking.
Yeah.
It really gets a lot of people, like, kind of their perspective and, like, where they are in their lives. Because, like, I mean, I believe that we're not patients, we're just customers to a lot of hospitals and medical companies. Like,
yeah.
They don't care about how we feel. As long as their drug is sold, then they're satisfied. They make the big bucks out of it. And there's like other resources that other people can use to get over fear and anxiety. Like, go outside, read a book, talk to a friend. Like, I know I'm bringing up Sam John right now because, you know, he's an awesome guy. Shout out Sam John again. But Sam John! I was talking to him last week, and he mentioned how he got rid of TV, Wi-Fi, his smartphone. He's a flip phone.
Yeah, he's a flip phone.
Which I think is pretty cool.
I saw it on the table yesterday when I was talking to him at lunchtime, and I go, dude, what is that? He goes, it's my phone. I went, okay. Like, I thought it was like a mobile charger or something.
Or like a pager?
Yeah, but no, it's like
Yeah,
a full-on flip phone.
Oh my gosh.
I know, it's just like little things like that. It's like, just...
He lives in the moment now.
Yeah.
And I think that's like another thing that our generation is missing, is living in the moment. Something I'm big, and me and my friend group, we go on a boys trip every year, and I'll probably take 2 photos for the whole weekend. And be like, oh, did you get anything? Did you capture anything? It's like, no. I was there living in the moment. And yeah, well, my mother always says that I'm going to hate that when I get older and I get dementia and stuff and I forget things and I'm not going to have pictures to look back on. But I'd rather live in the moment now than worry about it later.
Yeah, because you see those like pictures of like like a famous golf shot or like a basketball game. People always have their phones out.
Yeah,
you rarely see people out there just standing there watching for themselves. Kind of something what I started doing recently at 20s group is I put my phone away. I just put my phone in the back and I try to talk to other people and not have my phone out there because I know if I have my phone in my pocket, I'm just gonna get distracted. So I don't know if you guys ever want to try it. Maybe we could put our phones in a basket at 20s group, maybe, so we can actually just talk and mingle with each other and pay attention to the talk rather than be on our phones scrolling Instagram or Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
I know it's a little tough with us because we have to take notes, but I actually started taking notes in my notebook.
Dude, I think we should all be having Bibles. That's something I've been talking to Matt about.
Yeah.
Is that I have the Bible app on my phone. It's great in a pinch. If I forget my Bible, I need to do my daily devotion or something like that. But when it comes to like a church service or a Monday night Bible study or things like that, like I want to see a hard copy Bible. I want to see something that you pull out that you write notes in right then and there. And I was talking to Matt about trying to find a way to do that. Because I was like, I know that a ton of us that grew up in church, I probably have 2 or 3 extra Bibles at the house that I don't touch. I was like, I would love to put a basket out and just have them there and invite people to be like, hey, y'all can grab one for the night. And if you don't have a Bible at home, I urge you to take one. And so like we do our part to try to give them that opportunity. Because otherwise my extra Bibles just sit in the house collecting dust.
It's not a bad idea. Just have a basket full of Bibles. I like 15 in my house.
Yeah. I was like, that's that have grown up in church. Like I've gotten Bibles over the years that I just never used.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably good. I mean, especially for everyone. I mean, it's also probably nice, especially to like the person talking. You're not too distracted to be on your phone and stuff. Like, I mean, it's a little more kind of like a respectful thing too.
Yeah. So I got the idea. Southside, we do that, and it's how they open up almost every Sunday. They go, hey, we're going to be in the Word this week. If you don't have your Bibles, there's one in front of you. If you're a visitor and you don't have a Bible, we urge you to take one. This is our gift to you. And so I went up to the pastors maybe about a month or so ago, and I was like, hey, what's like the financial hit from that? And they're like, David, we don't even look at it. It's negligible. Like there is not a price that we can put on that would push us from not doing it. They say the more Bibles that we can get into households, the better. And she's like, I think for a visitor, just knowing that's acceptable is like, hey, if what you hear tonight captures your attention so much that you want to dig deeper into it, like here, take this. Every word in here is true. Everything that is in here, we believe, and it's just impactful to them to know that like we're gonna wrap around you. As a community, and we're gonna, if you have any questions about it, ask us. If I don't know the answer, I'll go find someone that does. So
you might have to get a Bible basket and maybe like a basket, put our phones in.
Yeah, check your phone in to get a Bible.
Exactly, right? Would that be a good idea?
Yeah, probably get a phone caddy, like on the
something
on the side. It's just like, all right, put your phone in the phone caddy.
Yeah.
And then you just pick up a Bible. I mean, there's that, but also another great one. So now, usually, whenever there's a talk, I usually have my phone out and just type up notes for like questions for like the next podcast episode or something.
That's fine.
Something like that, so I can write questions on the fly and all that.
That's fine. I know you're working.
Yes.
You're doing your due diligence. That's fine.
Yes. I'm doing my hustle.
Side hustle.
Yeah. But so, would you say that anxiety in a way is like anger, where you are the prisoner and you are the correction officer with the key to the cell?
I could definitely see a correlation of the two. Because think about road rage. You're driving, you're having a great day. Someone pulls out in front of you, you get mad at them. Your day is ruined for a lot of people.
That's me.
I say I've done a lot better about that. Like you can even ask my friends. I've maybe used my horn twice in my life. I just don't use it because as soon as I hit that horn, it pisses them off and it pisses me off. And it's like, I hope that them seeing, like if I'm in their blind spot and they're coming over and then all of a sudden they see me, right? They get back. There's no need for me to blare on my horn. They know that they made a mistake, and that's all it should be. There's no reason for me to hit the horn and make someone else. Because even today I was riding with a friend, Spencer, and we're in the Chick-fil-A parking lot. We're pulling back, and someone else on the other side of the parking lot hits their horn. And even him as a passenger was like, oh, I'm ready to get up and swing on somebody, right?
Mm-mm.
And it's like, oh, like, that wasn't even towards us for any reason or anything like that, but just hearing the horn as humans, for some reason, it sparks something. Mm-hmm. So I do think that there is a correlation in the two, of since, like, once you start it, it's hard to get out of it. And I do agree that it comes down to us being the ones to take us out of it. Anxiety, I told a story about Brad last night, about Brad calling me. He was about to get shipped off for his first tour when he was in the military, and he was having like a full-on panic attack. If you don't know Brad, Brad's a little autistic. He's a little bit different.
We're all alone.
Yeah, I do. That's a whole other conversation. I do think every single one of us is on the spectrum somewhere.
Got autism.
But I'd never seen him like this, and so he was hyperventilating. And I literally just told him stop. He's like, I can't stop. And I was like, no, you can. You 100% can't stop. He's like, well, how would I stop? I go, well, your brain's in control of you, right? He goes, yeah. I said, then tell yourself to stop. And so he just started, okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. And his breathing started slowing down. And eventually, once he was done with it, he's like, how'd you know that was gonna work? I was like, because you're in full control of your body. That's like one thing that anxiety does. It makes you think that you're not. It makes you think that you have no control of your body, whether that's how you're breathing, how your heart's racing. It makes you think that you can't get out of it. Mm-hmm. And I want to say, like, once you get to that point, like, pray about it. I promise you get into the presence of God and your breathing will slow down. Your heart rate will stop. Not stop, but it will slow down if it gets to that point. But I am a firm believer that you are the one that has the key to stopping it. And I think that is one thing that kind of Big Pharma has kind of put out of our brains, is that you can't. You need our medicine that we give you. You have to take it daily so you're not anxious. Which I don't believe that's true.
No. I got one more question. So you shared about one of your friends losing their friends a few months ago. How did God reveal himself to you during that time? Because I remember you mentioned how you broke down.
Yeah. So it was a big time in my sense of most of the time when things like this happen. So I in my role as a paramedic, I've had to call people that are dead. I've had to talk to families right after doing CPR on their family members. I've been in that position where I have to condole someone's hurting. But this was the first time that the person that I needed to condole was 800 miles away. Someone I couldn't physically be there for. So when Deke called me that night, it was at this point I'd gone up there about 4 or 5 times in New York. I've hung out with this guy named Andy on multiple occasions. A great guy, just genuinely a good person. Made some questionable decisions in his life, as we all have, but genuinely just wants everyone to be happy. And so he had called that night, and he was like, hey, Andy's gone. I was like, what do you mean Andy's gone? And he's like, Andy died. And I was like, oh, okay, like this is, okay, what happened, right? And so he goes in that Andy was 23 or 24 years old, had an asthma attack, and died. And so that night I had to, the thing that God showed me was how much, it was the first time that I was worried about something. I'm not, we've gone over this, I'm not really a worrier or anxious or anything like this, but this was the first time that I couldn't do anything about it. And the great thing that I loved was that I was worried about someone else. Mm-hmm. I was worried about Deke. He grew up in church, he knows the Bible stories, but how his family handled it and how people at the church handled it pushed him away. And so I had been pouring into his life for a while now, and his dad and him had just gotten back into talking about Christ, and his dad was sending him Bible verses, and I was able to get Deke to watch a few online services, and I just felt like God was working. And then all of a sudden this wrench had been thrown in, and now I have to talk to a man that's starting to believe that there is a God, but now in his thoughts, his first thought is, why is God taking my best friend from me? Why is God killing my best friend? And I had to explain to a man that doesn't fully believe that in God, that he's working, that he's doing something that I promise you is a plan. I have no clue what that plan is, but I just have to believe and I have to have faith that he does. And that night I was so worried that this was going to be the thing that turned him away from Christ. And it's like you start to get in these people and you start worrying, like, when's the last time they're going to turn away? Like, when is that final step going to be where it's like they're not going to turn back? Mm-hmm. But through all of this, I come to find out and learn that Andy's parents are both pastors. And they took this opportunity to pour into Andy's friend group, invite them over to the house, let them have fellowship with believers, and cook them dinner. And in this time that they could have totally collapsed and broken down, they chose to rise up to the occasion and pour into this friend group that is ultimately doesn't live the way they do. But full 360 last week, Deke and his friend group went to church. Andy's dad, it was his first week preaching back since the whole thing, and they all went and supported him, and then afterwards they went and had fellowship. And it was just so cool to see people that, some part of the LGBTQ community, some people that ran away from church at a young age, some that might not listen to the best kind of music or lifestyles, drugs, alcohol, those type of things, come together at a church even if they weren't there to stay. But just acknowledging that there is a God that loves them and allowing them to step up in this opportunity to pour into these kids that they just know love their son was absolutely remarkable, and it was nice to see that full 360.
That's awesome. Yeah. They chose to serve rather than...
At a time that he 100% could have collapsed, and no one would have blamed him.
They still served.
Yep. So...
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is. So, what made you get the book Anxious for Nothing?
So, Leslie, I give Leslie credit for this. We were discussing about the topic, and he had sent me a picture of a book. He's like, hey, I want you to read this book. And I was like, okay, I can order it on Amazon. I'll see when it gets here. He's like, no, I have a copy. I'll bring it to you. And I was like, okay, well, I'll be home at 8:30 p.m. You want to just bring it by? He's like, oh, send me your address. He just went over and dropped it off at my house in the front. I was like, were you worried about someone stealing? He's like, David, if they stole this book, they needed it. And I was like, very true. But it's a great read. I highly recommend it to everyone. I'm starting chapter 3 now. I'm not a big reader. And I've gone maybe about 45 pages now. I think last night when I talked, I was at the 40-page mark. But for me, honestly, it's to see a new perspective. Because it's about anxiety. It's about how to deal with it. And me being someone that doesn't face that on a daily basis, it's so cool to see someone else break it down that's been there, done that. And the big thing that he harps on is essentially the overarching, at least in chapter 1 and 2, is that anxiety is something that comes on all of a sudden, but it's not for us to stay in. We have a choice on whether we want to stay in that prison or not. Because anyone that has anxiety would probably agree with me that it's a slippery slope. Once you're in it, you feel like there is no way out of it, and it just grows bigger, and then you start worrying about other things. But that's what got me into it, is that it was another perspective, and very biblical. We use a lot of scripture in there to kind of hit on the points. It's also an easy read, very easy read. I hate reading. The fact that I sat down during work to read it was enough for me. And I actually, I went to one of the PAs there. His name's James. He actually knows Sam John. They go to church together. And I was working, and I went up to... Something just told me that I should go let James know that I was reading this book. So I get up, I bring the book to him. I was like, hey, man, just want you to know, I've started reading this book. It's fantastic. I really think that you should give it a shot. He's like, okay. He's like, what did Sam tell you? I was like, nothing, dude. I just kind of felt led to come let you know. He takes a picture of it. And so I meet with Sam yesterday at lunch, and Sam was like, hey, did you tell James to read a book? I was like, yeah, I told him to read Anxious for Nothing. And he was like, yeah, he came up to me and was asking me what I had told him about, or told you about him, and this and that. And I was like, is he an anxious person? He's like, oh, dude, he is one of the most anxious people I've met. And I was like, I didn't know that. I just genuinely, I knew that he's a PA. I knew that he has a semi-anxious position at work. I figured that anyone I work with would probably be good at reading this. And now talking to a lot of people, I think anyone would get benefit from this book. If you even have any anxiety, I think that he puts it in such a good perspective about the prison. It kind of breaks it down to why we do that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, highly recommend. Super easy read. I'm going to finish it. It'll probably be the second book that I finish this year. Get the numbers up.
And no, it is not sponsored by Anxious for Nothing.
Yeah, I don't even know the author's name. I think it's Max something.
Yeah.
Shout out Max.
Yeah, shout out Max.
Hear it, people? Read!
Read!
Read! Stop doom scrolling Instagram and look at mukbangs.
Yeah,
Read.
Zach.
Yeah, you're right. I am reading a book right now.
What book you reading?
Oh my gosh, something about hurry. It's by John Mark Comer. Hold on. Oh my gosh, what was that book? Hurry. I'm gonna look it up. I have my computer out here. Shout out having your computer out here. I love it. John Mark, like the ruthless elimination of hurry. I should know the book cover. I know there's hurry in it. The ruthless elimination of hurry. I'm reading that right now. I'm actually on about 50 pages in.
Nice. But what's the premise of it?
It just talks about like slowing down your life because everyone's like thinks that they need like speed up to get like a certain goal in their lives, and this dude's like, hey, chill out.
Yeah. There's
no reason for you to hurry your life because when you hurry your life, you get anxious.
Yeah. And
you get really stressed out. So it's just telling yourself you don't have to be busy all the time. You don't have to rush your life. Just take it easy. You need to find time for God. You need to like eliminate all this noise from your world. Just chill out. That's what it's about. Just chill out. Relax, guy. Do it.
No.
Yes, do it.
No.
Relax, guy.
No.
Do it.
No.
You suck. You got any more questions?
Relax, guy.
Yay! Good job, Hensley.
All right. So, last question. So is there anything that you didn't put in your talk that you like to talk about in the podcast?
I would say we kind of already went over a little bit of it because in my talk I was supposed to circle back around to Deke's story and finish it up by telling all the right sides of it, the good things that have come out of it. And when I go to pray, I was like 2 lines in and I was like, I left something out. And it comes to my head and I couldn't think about it. And Leslie comes up and goes, would you just not want to talk about the rest of Deke's thing? And I was like, that's what I left out. But no, that was the only thing that I like remotely left out. The other thing that I've talked to a few other people, because ultimately after every talk, there's a few people that I reach out to for tips, things that they like, things that they didn't like, and really pick their brain. And genuine, I called, Brad was one of the ones I called last night, and I was like, hey, any concerns, good, bad, ugly, please give me something. One of the other people that I talked to was, one of the things that he brought up was that I didn't really dive into like practical ways of dealing with anxiety. And it was something that I discussed with Leslie and Sam and Moose leading up to it. There was a few verses that I could have talked about. I believe in John, one of the verses, it's rejoice in your anxiety, for pray to the Lord, for he will take them away. And the big thing is praying about it. Anytime you get into that point of anxiety where it starts to cycle and circle and you're going down the drain, I pray that you take a step back. Take a step back and remember why we're here and what's our goals and missions, and to just remember that God's never going to leave you. He's right there. As you're hyperventilating, he's looking at you. In my mind, I think he's looking at you with a little smirk on his face, like, come on. Like, this is what's going to send you over, is forgetting something on a grocery list. And I keep bringing that up because one of the girls in our group last night, that was one of her things that she was like, that she seems to always spiral out is when she forgets something.
What did she forget?
Oranges.
Oranges?
And so that was the thing. I was talking to them, and like, one thing I think people struggle with is like thinking logically. Okay, you forget oranges. What are you going to do? You're probably going to go by the store tomorrow. Pick them up. Is it worth elevating your heart rate and hyperventilating for the next 30 minutes because you don't have oranges? Now, don't get me wrong. There's times that me and Zach have cooked and we'll forget something in the grocery store and it's kind of a bummer. But within 30 seconds, we're trying to figure out something else to put there.
You can DoorDash some oranges.
DoorDash some oranges. Yeah, you could go back. You could the car is still there.
On Klarna. Pay off your oranges you buy from DoorDash. Put it on layaway.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right, Hensley?
Sure.
You like DoorDashing.
I don't DoorDash, actually.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You don't DoorDash.
I only DoorDash at work. But that was the big thing. I could have gotten into a little more of like practical ways of dealing with it. But also, me being someone that doesn't feel anxious, that doesn't worry, like, I can't stand up there and be like, oh, hey, when I get worried, this is what I do. Right? I just don't have that ability to do that.
Right.
But I think that's why I love me talking about anxiety, because I can look at it logically, because I haven't experienced an anxiety attack. I've only witnessed them. I've had to deal with them. I've had to help people with them. and don't get me wrong, I've definitely had people that had such bad anxiety or panic attacks that I have to medicate them to bring them down a little bit, but never to put them to sleep. Mm-hmm. Just to relax, calm them down a little bit, and talk them down. So
that's why you're a paramagician, not a paramedic.
Yep, I make magic happen. Mm-hmm. So,
you got any questions for us?
What is y'all's favorite part about doing this podcast?
I just like talking. I talk a lot. I don't think before I speak. All right, and that's something I'm working on. I don't think before I speak. Sometimes I just talk about random things. Like we talk about like what oranges, deer, birds.
Yes, we just get. I think for me, I think it's just like asking some deeper questions and getting into conversation with whether if it's with Zach or executive producer Zach, or
Zach and Zach,
or with our guests that come to our podcast and all that.
I just like talking to people. Yeah. It's just fun because everyone has a different story in their life of how they got to where they are right now.
Yeah,
and it's fun for people just to bring up their life story, like when we talked to Sam in episode 2, he wanted to be governor of California, but then he realized that wasn't his path in his life, and then he ends up here in Savannah. Yeah. And then with you, you're being a paramedic and saving people's lives and not having anxiety and learning how other people deal with anxiety.
I'd say it's just the deeper conversation. Like I think that's what our generation misses. Mm-hmm. And so bringing Deke back up, we always talk about like a dream home, what we want our dream home to look like. And one of his things is that he wants his living room to not have a TV. He wants it to have a conversation pit. They used to have them like back in the 70s or 60s and 70s, and it was essentially just a pit in the middle of the living room, and you would just talk. It was essentially a square or a rectangle, and it was meant for conversation. And he's like, I think that our generation misses that so much. And the great example he uses is that whenever you're hanging out with your boys and everybody's talking and chit-chatting, and then someone picks up the remote, and then they throw something on the YouTube or on Netflix. And you might not, at first, it might just be harmless. They just throw it up there to watch something, to have something in the background. But the next thing you know, people are focusing on it. And then you're asking what y'all want to watch next.
I will have to say, I find it more exciting having conversation with a group of friends and all that than it is like having a group of friends over and just watching like YouTube or something like that.
Don't get me wrong, I think friends coming over for like a movie night, right, where it's like a planned thing. Hey, we're going to make popcorn. We're going to throw Lord of the Rings up on the projector.
Oh, absolutely.
And something like that. Like, yeah, 100%. But like, no, if it's just a regular Tuesday afternoon and everyone wants to get together and hang out and talk, and don't get me wrong, our boys group, we've been friends for some of us up to 26 years, some of us for 2 or 3 years. We probably had the same conversation 6 or 7 times, but every time it's good. You get laughter out of it. It's a good joke. I'm not going to say that.
You're lucky we're audio only.
Which Zach, to the fans, Zach did tempt me. He was like, we'll bring the video back if you could do a magic trick.
Dude.
I can't do a magic trick, so sorry there's going to be no video on this one. Practice for the next one?
Practice and keep practicing.
Yeah. I say no.
Give me a good one.
I will be back on eventually.
Giddy up.
I got to figure out what my next talk's going to be.
Giddy up.
Yeah.
I also like to give some other people a chance to talk.
Exactly. You're next.
No, I'm not.
Okay, fine. You're not going to. You're going to interview me soon. Next month.
Yeah.
Good luck.
I'll take your place.
Okay.
I say I'll fill in, dude.
If you want to, by all means.
Yeah. I say I'm all for the podcast, dude. Like I said, I used to do a sports cast for like 2 years covering high school sports, but I was in y'all's position. I was the questionnaire and said the answer. But no, I love it, dude. It's a great thing just to talk.
You can interview me.
I say I'm always down, dude.
You hear that, folks?
I'm going to be interviewed.
Yep.
What week is that? How many weeks you got until your talk?
When do I speak? July 22nd. So I got another month.
Nice.
5 weeks. Month. 5 weeks. When is July 22nd?
July 22nd.
Yeah. But yeah.
It's on a Monday.
Basket. We're gonna basket. We're putting our phones on basket.
Yeah.
I'm bringing basket.
I like that.
Yeah.
Your talk's on distractions.
Mine's actually on people pleasing.
People pleasing.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so good at that, dude. I call it the game.
It sucks. The game.
I call it the game. You gotta play the game.
It's all about the game and how you play it.
And I say I kiss butt at work so I can call out on Wednesdays. You know.
Nah.
Yep.
Who wants to go work on Wednesdays?
Yep.
Are you done, Hensley?
And do you have any other questions?
For y'all? I mean, I can go all night. I got tons of questions.
Sure.
We'll do it some other time. All right. That is all for now.
Our executive producer, Zach's giving us a signal of no, he doesn't want to edit 3 hours of clips.
Yeah.
But no, I got one final question for y'all, and I'll answer it as well. What is an anxiety that worries you? I know that we each broke into our small groups last night. We kind of told each other, but what's something that y'all struggle with? Now, because y'all mentioned y'all are anxious people.
People pleasing.
People pleasing? Yeah.
Because growing up, I didn't have many friends.
Yeah.
And I struggled making friends until I got into middle school. Well, actually, 8th grade technically. And, I just had that thing in the back of my mind, like, I want these people to like me.
Yeah.
And that builds a lot of anxiety. And, if they don't like me, then, I just break down thinking, oh, I guess if this person doesn't like me, then this person doesn't like me, and this person doesn't like me. And it's kind of like how you mentioned last night, the snowball effect.
Yeah.
You just roll a snowball right down the hill and it starts getting bigger, 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 bigger. And, that's one thing I struggle with. And, I still struggle with this day. I'm not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, sometimes I say the most random things ever to see if I can get a laugh out of someone.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know you.
Yeah, I know. You know me really well.
Yeah.
What about you?
There are many things that I am quite anxious about, but I cannot pin one down on top of my head right now.
Yeah. So I get it. Say Matt wanted me to say it. Fatherhood is something that I do worry about. Obviously, I'm not worried about it right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm nowhere near fatherhood. But I think once I get to that point, I think I'll be a little bit anxious about that because it's not necessarily me being worried about myself, but me worried about the kids.
Yeah.
And it's my priority, my job to raise them correctly and do it in the way God wants me to.
Mm-hmm.
As well as if y'all didn't meet my dad last night, he put the bar so high.
Shout out Dave.
Yeah, shout out Dave. Disco Dave.
Disco Dave. I like that.
That's his nickname.
I like that.
Yeah, it was written in his baseball mitt when I was a kid. And that's how I found out. And yeah, then that opened up a whole other conversation. My dad opened up his whole story, which I'm trying to get him to come talk. I want him to do like a guest night and share his story.
I want him to go over restaurant equipment. Just go over the amount of restaurant equipment that he's sold. I want that. I want grills, Taylor C713, ice cream machines. I want all that.
Say, hook him up, love fun, hook him up.
Yo, get us an ice cream machine.
Shut up.
Honestly, dude, get us an ice cream machine for a Monday night group.
That'd be sick. Dude, that'd be sick.
Zach can make all the ice cream, but he can't eat a single bit of it.
Yeah, I'm allergic to milk. It sucks. It sucks being me.
So is it like lactose intolerant, or is it like...
I just break out an eczema. It's the enzymes. I just break out an eczema. I hate it, dude. It sucks being me. I can't eat cheese. I love cheese.
No, God made you like that.
He did.
For a reason.
Yeah.
Don't know what it is. God's figured that one out.
Anti-cow.
Yeah.
Yep. And... Yeah, and... Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, well, that is it for this episode of The Talking Bread, which, no, we are not different kinds of bread, and we talk. But anyways, I hope I see y'all in the next episode.
So yeah, appreciate y'all having me on. It was a good time.
Thank you, David.
Yeah.
Come back on whenever you want.
So I'm gonna try. I'm serious. I'm gonna take your spot when it's your time to be in my seat.
Yep.
I can't wait.
We'll flip the script.
Flip the script.
I can't wait.
Yep.